Awesome.
You a leader? No, seriously, are you a leader? If you're not, you should be, but chances are you already are one. Good news! Plexus Worldwide, the most loving and compassionate company in all the land, is cooking you up. From October 16th to 19th, Plexus is inviting its qualifying leaders to the Gaylord Hotel in Orlando, Florida for its annual Leaders Retreat. That's right, Orlando, Florida. We know you're thinking it. Hold that thought. First things first, get qualified. You need 700 credits to qualify yourself and a guest. That's right, a guest. Wow! So go on, get started. You'll get credits every time a new ambassador joins Plexus with a welcome pack on your first 4 levels, or each time a brand new personally sponsored preferred customer places their order with a PV of 50 or more, and based on your own personal volume for the months of June, July, and August. Don't stop there. Keep going and earn more prizes like a trip to the spa, a game of golf, $2,000 cash, and even a $5,000 shopping spree at Bloomingdale's, Orlando. Sorry, we just experienced an overload of awesome. See you at the Plexus Worldwide Leaders Retreat.
I think that's what happened to you. We were experiencing an overload of awesome.
Very cute.
Okay, so in oops. So in that you saw how sorry. So you saw how he said it's the same as convention where every new ambassador is worth points. That has a welcome pack. So that again is necessary. And any preferred customer with over $50 PV. And then they did have the different levels of PV. So here, I just did this little collage for you just to show that, again, they do treat you nice at the hotel. The hotel goes all out. They turn things pink. Lights on the outside are pink for Plexus, and fountains are overflowing with pink. We, of course, have our access to our pink drink often, and they give us little prizes. You wear a badge that gets you into certain events, and training is by your rank. So they give you appropriate training for where you're at in your journey. They did surprise us last year with a personal concert, private concert by Jewel, and as you can see, they do those $2,000 checks. A lot of people win those. It's really, really doable. I have not won one of those yet. This was 2014. Again, that's at the Gaylord Orlando. And you get to, we rubbed elbows with Sonia Dudley. Some of you have watched her videos. You got to meet her. So pretty cool that you're hanging out with some of the Plexus celebrities. Some people earn the $5,000 shopping spree at Bloomingdale's and get your own little private, what would you call that, fashion show. And again, you get to go party with some of the executives sometimes. Usually there's a costume party. Last year it was quite fun, but I think that's it. They put their name on everything. The streets you walk down will have Plexus on them. The food has Plexus on them. It's really, really cool. And there's some pretty fun costumes that people get really, really creative. So lots and lots of fun. So I hope that looks inviting to you guys. And the thing that I found that made it not fun was that I didn't have my team with me. And that is my goal, is to take as many of you people with me, because that is what really makes it fun, because you're there to grow. It's not just about getting pampered. It truly is about growing. And that's how I felt. And I think most people do feel that way. So do we want to open that up for just quick questions or wait till the end?
Either way.
Okay. So if
Oh,
anyone
wait.
has a leaders retreat, just unmute yourself if I've not made that clear enough. Or Julie and Kim chime in if I missed anything.
So I was just going to clarify that we do know the actual dates, so you can put it on your calendar now so that our whole family and team can get there. It's October 27th through October 29th, and that's the night of the 29th. So really it goes through the 30th because the 29th is a late night. So you can put that on your calendar now. And I agree with Rhonda. So
yeah, I forgot that they did give us the dates and they had switched it to there. Okay. I'm glad you remembered that.
I pulled out the email not too long ago so that I could remember myself. So,
Okay.
It's
okay. So,
fun though. I don't know. I kind of want to do a little dance because last year, what was so amazing about it to me is it was my first one last year. Next to the Gaylord in Maryland in the National Harbor, there's like, I guess like a city block of restaurants and bars. They shut that down and it was all open to us. So every restaurant had like free buffets. They had some of their food out. The piano bar was just all Plexus people. It was just, I think 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 different places that was just filled with, I don't know how many thousand people were there. But it was a really, I don't know, I was super impressed by that. I kind of got a little giddy, like, wow, this is huge. I can't believe they did this. We had a great, great time. And you will end up on that Halloween party. It's probably going to end up Halloween again. It's been some sort of themed because it's right in the end of October. But you'll stay up too late. So don't leave too early on the 30th.
I'll say too that last year was my first year of even knowing what Leaders Retreat might be, and I missed the trip by about 20 points. And I vowed that I would never do that again because I don't want to miss that, especially when you're that close. And so I think that's the other thing now, why we're talking about it now, because the contest goes from June 1st until September 15th or 14th. It depends on the dates. And we will know the location. It'll get announced at convention. It's always a surprise. And then the details of the points will actually be announced then too. And each year I went back through successive years from 2014 and 2015 to look at those. And they're very close in how they've run the contest. Last year they sold out of, well, didn't sell out, but ran out of room space at the Gaylord Hotel. And so my guess is that the points and the point values will change just a little bit, but it is, back to what Vonda said, it is absolutely doable. Great time to have your team there. And the fact that you can only get there by earning it is a pretty big badge of honor. So it's pretty cool to be able to do that. And so starting now and thinking about that now and never stopping pushing, always planting your seeds, being very excited and keeping your eye on the ball and setting your goal from the very beginning is key for that. And so we're going to try to do these things through each of the different months, provide you guys with information so that you can do it and be successful and be here to support you as you get there, because it's a lot of fun.
And last thing on that before we move on to the next is that we will provide you with a tally sheet to help you see and make goals. Sometimes it's better to set your goals, know, okay, these are the number of points and work backwards. How many ambassadors do I need to add? How many preferred customers? It is just as convention will be on your levels 1 through 4 that you get points for, which is really generous, I think. That's how it has been anyway. So just try to motivate, not just work for it for your team, but your team being motivated will help get you there. Just as Plexus works, that's how, it's not just about, I didn't just earn it, my team helped me earn it. So you've got to view it that way, because that's almost, I would say 99%, it's your team that gets you there. So just keep motivating them, not to get you there, but you want them there with you. So, but we will try to keep motivating, and we'll give you a point sheet that may help you visualize and make your goals.
Absolutely. So one of the things, we'll move on now so that we can get to the meat of the stuff that Julie's got that she's going to show too, we are going to be doing some challenges. And we have done one before that was a 30-day slim challenge. This month, starting on June 20th, we're actually going to be doing a belly buster challenge. And we've got some great graphics that have already been prepared that we're going to give to you guys in each of our respective team pages so that you can share that with people. And there will be a separate team page that we will, or group page, I guess, that we will set up for yourself and any new customers or ambassadors that are interested in joining that challenge. It's going to be a 21-day challenge. We've decided that we're going to shorten the length of our challenges just to make them more engaging and keep people like active in them. 30 days is a little long for that to happen. And 21 days is something that is the number that helps create a habit. And so that's another reason why we're doing the 21 days. The Belly Buster Challenge, I don't know, there's some of you who have been around for a little while and you have heard of this and know of this, but we actually, it's a shake recipe that uses our P96, and the way that it works, it uses our slim coconut milk, and we'll give you all the details of this too, and then a stick of slim coconut milk and then the P96, and together it works to actually burn fat. And we promoted this so well last year that we actually sold out of the P96 for months and months and months. So it works, and they being the executives, have sworn that they will never let that happen again, because it was pretty devastating when we couldn't get our P96. We were all like in starvation mode. So that's what it's going to be, and we're going to start this on June 20th. So we want to give people time. So we want to start promoting as soon as we possibly can on June 1. And the challenge will start on June 20th. There are going to be some rules that we'll give to you guys too. But I wanted to show you, I don't know if you guys can actually see my screen, but there's coconut milk, 1 stick of slim, and I'll go over the coconut milk because there's a couple of things that I want to keep in mind there, but either the chocolate or the vanilla P96, for people to participate in the challenge, they will need to have 1 30-day supply of the slim and then 2 pouches of the P96. Whatever flavor they want is going to be fine for them. And so we've got some prices for you too that I'll go over. And then they're going to want to use coconut milk. And I use either this, which is so delicious. 2 things that are important about this are that it's carrageenan free. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about carrageenan, but it's something that we want to avoid. It actually turns into a carcinogen when it enters our body. It's in a lot of different milk products or non-milk products as well, and they use it as a binder. More and more products are actually becoming in tune with this, and they're removing carrageenan. So you might actually see that on the labels of it being carrageenan free. Read your labels. You also want it to be unsweetened, not artificially sweetened, and no sugar. You want it to be unsweetened coconut milk. They have this one in both vanilla and plain. The reason that coconut milk is so important is it's a medium chain fatty acid. It's different than almond milk. So if you have people ask you, can I use almond milk instead? They could, but they may not have the same results. And that's because of the medium chain fatty acid that's in coconut milk. Your body actually can access it and use it as energy more quickly than anything else. And it won't store it as fat, which is the most important thing that we're going for here. Another option is canned coconut milk. I like these, especially the organic ones. They only have 2 ingredients in it, organic coconut and water, and guar gum, which is actually a binder as well. But this is, again, it's unsweetened. Full fat is absolutely fine, and they can use this as well too. I go between those 2 depending on what I've got in the house. But you put all that together in a blender, and the stick of slim goes in it too, so it gives it kind of that fruity flavor. And then you can add frozen berries. Again, it's going to be important to be berries, like blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. Those are low glycemic index and will help with lowering the sugar content as well. And then you can also throw some greens in there if you want to boost your vegetable intake if you want. Not necessary, but it's a really good thing. And there's a video that we will share with you all from Rachel Rogers that goes into the why of why that it all works. So we're going to do that challenge. And really the intent is so that you have something to offer people who are either sitting on the fence, who are maybe interested in losing a little bit of belly fat, and we're going to make it so that you don't have to say, hey, you have a belly, do you want to come join me? Because that might be kind of rude. But it really works well, and we're trying to bump it up as saying summer's almost here, it is here, swimsuit season, etc. And this actually really does work with some great testimonies to it as well. The key is you guys will be participating. If you add anybody into this group, you will be participating. And by that, we don't mean you're coming up with the original posts. We're going to do that between Vonda, Julie, and myself. We're going to put content in there that talks about why it's important to drink water and get moving and why this works, and continue to provide some additional information on these products. We don't want it to be too salesy and going into a bunch of the other products. We want it to be focusing on their 21 days so they have a great experience. But everybody who goes into this challenge, you will be responsible for posting on the posts that we enter in there. So it might be some more information about a specific product or something. If you will contribute to that, it's just like anything else. It will get the activity going, the energy going. We want to lead by example, even if it's just all of us that are posting on there. That's what we want to do so that people are engaged in this. We will have prizes and everything else as well. And the cost on this, I can provide this in a written document if you guys want, but for an ambassador that is joining with a triplex, so if they did a triplex kit or even just one of the small welcome kits that has Slim in it, of course that doesn't have the 2 pouches of the P96 in it, so they would have to actually buy that separately. And so just to give you the cost of what that would be, it's $179.85, and that includes the welcome kit, the 2 packs of 96, and it also includes the $34.95 joining fee. So that might be, that's what it will be for that if you have them join up as an ambassador. One of the things that we talked about as a group is you may have some people that go, oh my gosh, that's a little expensive. So you can have them join as a preferred customer, and I'll give you the numbers for that too. So if they were to join as a preferred customer for the Slim and 2 pouches of P96, that's $135.86. Another option that we wanted to just kind of plant the seed now, and you guys can think about it, and if any of you need help running these numbers later, or even a 3-way call with somebody to help explain how this might work for them, encourage them to get some buddies to do the challenge with them. And if they joined and got 3 friends to do the same thing, and you guys can see kind of the power of 3 here, if you encourage them to get 3 and then you tell them to get 3, etc., if they got 3 friends to join with them as an ambassador, they would get that business building bonus of, assuming the small welcome kit, if they bought it, they would get $24.99 for each one of those that for each ambassador that they sold. So if they had 3 friends do that, they would get almost $75 back in business building bonuses, which means their cost would be $104.55. So that takes it back down to kind of a manageable amount. So there's ways that you can play with numbers and get creative with that to have maybe to ease some of that burden. Another thing that I thought was interesting, and as I played with this, is if they signed up as an ambassador and then they had 3 friends maybe that joined them as a preferred, they would actually get $39.49 per person back that joined as a preferred. And that's assuming that they get the preferred bonuses on the Slim and on the P96. They're getting $23 in preferred bonuses. And then a 15% commission just for one person would be $16.49. So you can show them pretty quickly how they might be able to reduce their cost of the challenge and build a little side business too. But all of this is designed to help you guys get clients that kind of meet that criteria of the bonus of the points for convention as well. I think this is one that you can promote on Facebook by saying we're doing a challenge, and you'll want to do it every day, multiple times a day, using the graphics, and you can rotate them. And then do not put your website link on your posts. We'll talk about that too in another piece that Julie's going to go over. But you don't want to do that. It can actually get you in Facebook jail, and it looks salesy. We don't want to do that. So share it every single day in some way or fashion, get people excited about it, and then send personal messages to people that might have been on the fence before, or even some of your ambassadors that are white-lined. Encourage them that we're doing another challenge, explain how it works, share videos, share testimonies with them, get them excited about it, and get them into the team page that we will have up and running for our contest. Or not for our contest, but for our challenge. And I think that's it on that.
Correct. You said convention. So we're trying to give you.
Oh, yes, for a leaders retreat.
To get you to leaders retreat. So we'll continue. This will be our first one to help you get those points so you guys can get to leaders retreat. So if you think of it.
Sorry, wrong words.
That's fine. Just want to make sure they knew that. So we're going to continue throughout the challenge to hopefully keep giving you more tools to add up more points.
Yes. Thank you. Okay.
Me?
That's you.
Okay, I'm printing because I realize I'm about to share my screen and I won't be able to see all my list of things to do. I was like, I better print that real quick. All right. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Julie Gooden. Tonight we're doing our meat of our training on Facebook, on tips using Facebook, how to use it more efficiently, effectively, etiquette for Facebook, so on and so forth. So for any technologically challenged people, this is going to be perfect. I hope a lot of you are on phones. This is being recorded, so hopefully this will help that you can go back and look at it. But for those of you not on video, this is going to lose a little for you. So I'm going to share my screen because we're going to start on the basics of Facebook posting. And yeah, you're going to see my Facebook feed. So, oh, look, there's one of my ambassadors, my friend Amy. Okay. So one of the first things I want you guys to know is when you go into making a post, there's lots of buttons here. And one of the biggest buttons is how you want to share it, whether you want it to be public, friends, only you looking at it, which sounds super silly. I don't know who does that, but I set personally, everyone has a different thing. I set my Plexus post public, but I do my kids and stuff friends. Now I have other friends, like I know Sina Patel does everything, and I think she's Emerald. I'm not sure if she's Sapphire yet or not, but I know she's Emerald. She sets everything public. She just is like, I want to be an open book. I want people to know who I am by looking at my profile and decide if I am someone they can trust with their health. So she has a different approach, and I think that's totally fine. But you need to know what these different things mean. So the other thing is if you're posting something that people might want to share, they can't share it to anyone outside your friend group. They won't be able to see it. So if you make it public, then it doesn't matter who they share it with. Anyone can see it. So those are things to keep in mind as you're posting. You may hear someone come back to you and go, I really loved your post and I want to share it, but it's telling me the whole audience won't be able to see it. And that is the reason why, is because it's done on friends. So be thoughtful. And if someone asks you and you're okay with it, then flip it to public. You can do this post. So I can change it. So this was my last post I made. I can go into, I can do it right here. I can go in here and I can change this to just friends. So you can do it post, like you can retroact it and make it work. But that's a little toggle you should know about because you need to know how that works. So you just say you have a really cool post you want to save. So I'm going to say, okay, we have a friend, Alicia Straight. We love her. So if I love her post, there's this little arrow right here on the right corner of her post. And one of the options is to save it. Now, if I save her post, I can go back later and copy what I want to copy, download the picture, not screenshot it, but download it, and I'll show you how to do it. later and use it. Now, when I want to find it, there's under events here on the left-hand side, there's a whole folder called saved. And in it is all the things that I have decided to save. And it's very easy. Even on your phone, it's easy. I can open it back up again. And then of course you can just drag and highlight and copy. I don't want to, like if I'm on my phone, you can just hold your finger down and it will highlight, especially if you have an iPhone. I don't know how the other phones work. I do apologize because that's not necessarily true for the other phones. But I can just hold my finger on the text and an option to copy will come up. But I'm going to want to hold my finger down on the graphic as well, and I'm going to want to save it. For me, in my Mac, I save it to downloads. So that when I go back to post it, I can just paste it, and then I can find it in my download section. Although I'm kind of laughing because it only lets me see so many things. I only shared this, so I can't actually go to different spots. Let's see. If I go to my downloads, I can choose it and I can download it. This way you're not having to, it's a clear picture. Second, you're not having black outline around it and you have to go back and edit it and shrink it. You don't have to do any of that. And it just looks fresher. So I would highly recommend learning to effectively use the save post ideas. It also allows you to bank. So let's say one day you see 8 posts that you are super crazy about. But for some people, 8 posts a day on Plexus is too much. Well, this allows you to bank them for later dates without having to figure out who did it and go scrolling through their timeline to find it. So if anyone at any time has a question, Vonda or Kim are going to have to wave me down because I can only see Molly, Kim, and Vonda's faces right now. Just give me a wave if someone has a question. Oh, lovely. I'm not even sure how that red came about, but anyhow. That is bizarre. Do you see it? The red swatch? I don't know what, I'm telling you, I have a possessed computer today. I don't know what's happening, but it looks like a child of mine has just written all over it and no one is here. There might be a haunting. I'm just saying. Okay, let's say you make, we'll see, here's my newest team member that just joined tonight, Rachel, which I'm not even sure she's on here. Poor thing is going to be embarrassed if she's on here and I'm just pointing her out. Let's say Sydney made a mistake. If I go to let me just go to my timeline. If I made a mistake and I do my grammar, I think I'm good, but I'm writing on my phone and sometimes it's all messed up. You can go back and change that. You go to the same arrow that you can save things at, you can also edit. So this way you're not deleting posts and rewriting posts, which can be tiresome and annoying. You can just hit edit, make the words grammatically correct, because we really want our spelling to be correct and our grammar to be correct because we don't want to look like complete nincompoops. So if you're a person who knows you're bad at spelling or not that great in grammar, just throw it into Word real quick and just let it help fix it for you. I get my husband calling me going, you have to fix this, I can't stand it. I'm like, okay. So that's my editor. Okay, so let's say go into Destination Diamond. And I'm kind of going through some of them quickly, but you guys wave me down if you need me to stop. Destination Diamond, we get tons of notifications on, am I correct? Like it can sometimes be a bit overwhelming. Oh, well, this is great that it's here because Heather is on my sideline team. So I'm glad that her promotion is the one it's showing. I want to comment, I want to tell Amy what an awesome job she's done, but I don't necessarily want the 45,000 other great jobs. Not to be rude, but we get a lot of notifications in this business. So to cut down on the notifications, but you still want to give your Plexus love, again, this cute little arrow at the top says turn, well, I don't have it on right now, but it would say turn off notifications for this post. And that way people can comment to their heart's delight and I don't need to know about it. So it's beautiful. So if you think you're overloaded with things, that's one way to cut down on what you're overloaded on. You can do the same thing with groups. So let's go back to Destination Diamond. I can go over here to notifications on the wallpaper and I can change them. I can just say all posts, highlights, just my friends that are posting, or turn it off. I can do any of the above. Your choice how you want to see it. Personally, I do highlights. I mean, honestly, I don't care if I do all posts. but I tend to go through this page and just scan it and try to catch up because there are a lot of posts on this page. But I try to turn off the notifications for all the ones I comment on so that I'm not overwhelmed. Let's see. I guess the same goes for like sharing. You see this a lot. Like I'm going to, for instance, go to Kim. So if I go to Kim's page and she says, okay, right now she's on focus. That's her last post. What if I really, really like what she has to say? I can easily hit share and share this on my timeline. But that's not really the best way to do it. That takes a separation from the personal touch that we're looking for. I don't know that I personally, the only reason I would do that, honestly, is, let's see, she did one today about her sister. So let me find this one. Great post this today about her sister and how her sister is involved in many, many more things than she used to be because she's feeling better. So she's able to have basically a life of her own without Kim kind of dragging her around on her, on weekends, with her. She's like, oh no, I got plans. I'll see you later. So that's super fabulous. I love it. I want to share that I know this person and I know her sister. Now I can copy it and I can just tag her and her sister. That's totally fine. But maybe that particular day, I just decide I'm going to share it on my timeline and write a little blurb about, I'm so happy for my friend. And then have somebody else as a third party validator give their story on what Plexus has done for them. Now, if you're going to do that, make sure to tag them when you're doing it. They don't have to accept it on their timeline, but it gives you third party validation that you know this person. Because I say all the time, I try really hard not to just randomly pick stories. I try to make sure, like, at least it's a third party. If it's someone that I know, their friend, then I'm okay. It's my personal feeling on integrity and relational, and you can do it however. Yes, thank you. They're my dogs. This is what happens when the husband's out of town and the kids are on summer vacation and not in bed right now. So anyhow, you can definitely share it this way. I will caution you, it is so, so much better for you to copy the text, download the picture, which on your phone, you just save it and then repost it. Let's say you do that. Here's like Kim's great post and I share it, or I write on here, oh my God, awesome. Well, that's not so horrible. Can I share this? That's the worst. Can I share this as a comment on her post? Really bad etiquette. And as Plexus as a whole, we hashtag one Plexus all the time. Like, it is second nature to us to share, and it should be. And sometimes it's hard for the new people to understand that, especially if they've been in another company that isn't great at sharing. We're great sharers. If it's on Facebook, you should feel comfortable being able to share it. If you feel like you need to ask permission because maybe it's something very personal about somebody, then private message them and just say, I just wanted to get an A-OK. It was really touching, maybe brought tears to my eyes, and I felt like I was imposing on your story by sharing it. Is that okay? That is fine. But don't mention it in the comments. The comments are really for providing validation and love to the person who posted it. So if you're not able to do that, or that's not the question that you have, then that's not the place in which to put the comment. So we see a lot when that happens. Kind of, again, it gets a little bit frustrating at times because there's all this great energy, and then someone kind of comes in and says, I like that shirt you're wearing. It's kind of, whoa, where'd that come from? Like, not necessary. Let their friends and let their friends mess that up, and not their Plexus people. Our job is to support and give them, kind of shine the light on them, not take anything away. Let's see, where am I? Compliance, obviously. We are waiting for some really great compliance education, and my guess is convention's going to have a big, huge general session on it because we're in such a tight position. I mean, they've been hiring people just to help our compliance department, like, be able to say more. So I really appreciate what they're doing, but we're in a little bit of a lag time, letting some of that stuff catch up. So I'm anxious to hear what they're going to say, but we don't want to mention any medical terms. We don't want to mention fibromyalgia, IBS, anxiety, depression, infertility, diabetes, anything that has prescribed medication for it, we really don't want to talk about. So what we can say, digestive issues, blood sugar issues. Let's see, I'm trying to think what you would say for something like fibromyalgia or chronic pain. You could say chronic discomfort. I know it sounds silly, but it's just a slight twist on that chronic pain, because chronic pain, again, has a load of meds to go on it. So be thoughtful about how you're doing it. If you're questioning it, ask someone. There are plenty of us around, and the people that are even on this call, you can easily, friend anybody on it and ask. Like we want to help. We don't, because we don't want Plexus shut down. Like we all need to be holding hands and kind of uniting around this. So just rather be safe than sorry. Really great. And what it's pushing us to is to give our own experiences and less experiences of others. So we're finding that we are having to become really creative in how we show Plexus in our lives every day. And Kim and Vonda, I think, are so good at it. Like, I'm like, oh, like Vonda sees a random thing. The bus in the parking lot, I think I don't think you use that for Plexus though. That she sees the most interesting things and she will turn them into a Plexus post. And I'm like, I don't know how she does that, but I need to wrap my brain around it. It's the side of me I don't feel most confident is the creative piece. So trust me, we're all struggling in different ways, but you can do it. Follow these ladies because they're really good at doing it. Okay, so other part of that, okay, I did the whole etiquette. Creating a non-Plexus list. Okay, what does that mean exactly? So this is also something that's in Celeste's DMO, her daily method of operation. She talks about visiting her non-Plexus friends list the first thing in the morning on Facebook before she looks at all the Plexus people. And that's because we are liking, loving, commenting, giving all sorts of kudos to our Plexus people, which is making all of the non-Plexus people in our lives get further and further down the timeline. Sometimes we don't even see any of their stuff. I hear someone moved and they're like, yeah, well, I moved 3 months ago. Well, I missed it because it wasn't currently the most liked, commented stuff on my feed. And I haven't been paying attention to them. Therefore, their stuff isn't in my feed. So I have my list. It ends up being down here under my favorites. Goodness gracious. Somebody take those children. So I have a whole non-Plexus friends list. And these are people that are not on my team and they're not customers of mine. Although I would be fine if I had customers on here. Really, if they're not on my team is how I divide it. How do you do that? Okay, so let me think of someone. Okay, I'm going to pick one of my best friends who is actually a customer of mine, but I don't think she's on this non-Plexus list. Let's see. So if you go to friends under this person, you can go down to, I have add to another list. Now it gives you some pre-done ones like acquaintances, family, and you can pick those. But these are ones I have picked over time. I have a non-Plexus friends list and I make sure she's on it. So I just took her off of it, but put her back on it. And that's how I keep a list of everybody. You can, I think, go into it. See if I'm right. I hear my computer fan heating up and it's freaking me out. So if it cuts me off, I'm like, do not crash. I don't have time for a computer problem. There's no time in my week to take my computer in. Be nice.
If you go to your friends.
Huh?
If you go to your friends list, you'll find your other list.
Okay. I was going to go here to manage list and edit list, but yeah, I can do that too. Go under here. I have 1,100 friends. You can see, well, this doesn't take you on here though.
Well, I'm like, sorry.
I know you can get to them that way, but I've been going this way, manage list, edit list, and then here's a list of all of my friends, and I can just go through and pick. Now I did this once and I got all the way through like the H's and it took me like 10 minutes. So I probably am missing P through Z right now because it takes a chunk of time to just click, 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 click. But if you did 15 or 20 a day of just clicking, you'll get there. And then as you have new people, if you're not looking for new friends and going to the suggested friends list that it gives you, you know, across the middle of your screen, quite often there will be a list of people who you may know. Use that. See who you know that are maybe have 1 to 3 people in common, and friend them. A lot of times for me, it's moms at the school or dads at the school that I see every day that I'm not Facebook friends, and we hi, bye. We don't even really exchange much information. But I want to grow my audience, and I can't grow my audience without adding people to Facebook or joining a million other networking groups. So it gets harder and harder to do your network. But if you keep this up and you keep adding so many people to your Facebook friends list and then your non-Plexus list, you'll expand your audience constantly. It's a smart way to do it. Okay, how to save a photo to use on Facebook. I showed you how to download one, but I really want to show you, let's see. Before I go to that, because I'm going to switch the camera back to me, I'm going to turn off, if you're in a group, let's see my team page, and let's just say there's been some negativity on a post, or the posts have gotten a little ridiculous, like someone having a conversation, and I just need to cut it off because it'll rise that post in the groups to the top, but it may not be pertinent to what's happening right now. I can go here and I can turn off commenting on a post, but you can only do it in groups. You can't do it on your own timeline. And trust me, I know many of you are wishing you could do it on your timeline, because every once in a while you have one of those miserable experiences where you have a sour grape in the mix and you just want to shut them up. So the best way we can do that, if that's your issue, is if I were you, like I will call Kim and Vonda and be like, all right, here's what someone said. I need to carefully maneuver this because people are watching my responses and they want to know how I'm going to handle it. Am I going to be true to my integrity? Am I going to just fall on the face of whoever said it? Oh, you're right. I'm terrible. Plexus is awful. It's all synthetic and made of junk. Like, do they want you to fall on the sword? Yeah, they want you to, but you have to come back and come with a creative way to say, this is unfortunate that you have this experience, or this is how you feel. It's just not the way, it is for us, blah, blah, blah. So if you're having it on your own timeline and you can't turn off the comments, I just encourage you to be very diplomatic in how you answer, because remember that everyone's watching and they're going to want to know what kind of leader you really are. And so they're going to see how you're going to answer that. When you're in your own timeline, we have this about section. In the about section, make sure that you have your ambassador number. It's funny, you can't see it here, but I'm pretty sure I have it. Oh, and if I don't, let's add it right now. Add your ambassador number. Yeah, I really did think I had it in here. Huh, I don't. So I want to say work and educate, details about me. That's where I'm going to put it. So I just say a Plexus ambassador number is where you're going to put this in the about you. So that you can put your website in there as well. That way, if people are really hunting for your website, they can find it. Because you don't want to hide it from them, but you don't want to throw it on your Facebook timeline or on your posts, or even in your comments. And there's a couple reasons why. One, if you're scrolling as someone as a brand, so let's look at me, for example. If you're just seeing what kind of person I am, it's my son having a shake with P96. Yep, dog caught a bunny today. It was really disgusting. Let's see. Oh, someone tagged me in that. And this is my porch. I'm a brand. When you look on my timeline, you should get a feeling of who I am, what I stand for. You should hopefully want to trust me and want to do what I'm doing. So if you see website, you're telling people, oh, she sells stuff and she's working on her sales. So you give a different tone. That's one of the first reasons. Second, let's say you put your website on there someone goes to it and they order, I don't know, plexus nerve. Okay. Well, they have diabetes issues. Okay, well, what are you going to do about that? Now we have a return problem, a reorder issue. We have lots of problems with that. Okay, let's say they order slim, which is what they should order. Well, most likely you have a retail customer because they look at that whole preferred thing and they freak out. They're like, ooh, I don't know what kind of commitment that is. I'm probably going to be stuck in this for 2 years and never be able to get out of it. You need to be able to move this conversation to a private message, a phone call, a text, an email, some other way to have a dialogue. You need to know what their health issues are. You don't want to recommend anything unless you've asked. Or you may say, please check with your doctor and then come back to me. If he says, okay, I'm all for it. But I don't want to tell you to do something that could be, potentially bad. So blood pressure, for instance, they buy Accelerator and you're like, you didn't know they had blood pressure issues because you never asked them. So this is a relationship, and we're building relationships every day. And if we don't believe it and we don't understand why there's all these little rules that we're putting in there for you, it's not so much that it's wrong, is it's not the best practice. So no one's going to come slap a ruler across your hand. We just want you to be successful, and we believe, watching the history of other people, that this is how it's done. So this keeps keeping your website off, keeps people from feeling like you're just all about sales. And it also allows you to have a conversation with people and for them to understand what Plexus really is. And that's why our personal testimonies are doing so well these days, is because we're really showing who we are and how we put it into our lives. Okay, saving a photo from Facebook. I'm going to show you how to do it on the camera. So when you're on Facebook, I'm gonna have to put my phone up because I can't think of any other way to do this. I've round and round and round I go and I couldn't come up with anything. So if I'm gonna find the first Plexus post I find in my feed. Okay, and it happens to be Jen's sister-in-law, I think. Yeah, sister-in-law is gone gold. If I love this picture, what if it's a graphic on the P96 Belly Buster? If you just press on it, the option comes up to, one of the options is save photo. Save it, it's gonna go into your photos on your phone. That way you don't have the black lining on it. You don't have to edit it. Then when you go to post, see, it's the first option in my things to post. So then I can click it and it goes straight there. And now I'm ready to write about my post. Super important. And the reason this is really important is because it looks classy. It looks classy. It's not as fuzzy. The more times you see people screenshot and such, the graphics start looking fuzzy and distorted and kind of pieced together. I don't know how else to explain that. So this helps the cleanliness of it, and just looks really nice. Let's see. I have all my things down. What am I missing, ladies? Is there something I didn't answer? Can someone ask? I can unmute anyone who needs it, but I can't tell those are on the phone, so you have to unmute yourself. Because I think Facebook is not that great, easy to understand for a lot of you. So the fact that you're all being quiet kind of freaks me out.
You're so good at teaching us.
Oh, I went through it fast. Okay. All right, fair enough. No Facebook questions. I hope you guys learned something about Facebook posting. They come out with something about every 4 or 5 months that blows us away. So we'll see what's next. Vonda, do you want to do the things to remember section? I only can think of one, unless you guys came up with something else.
I can't think of anything else, but we will not have, because let's see, Julie, Kim, and I, Joan will be at convention on next. Yay! Can't wait. So there will be no Zoom on the 14th, but we will resume every other week starting on the 21st again. So put it on your calendar, 21st, and then we'll start our increments of every other week again. So I can't think of anything else other than, just if you need a tool, reach out. If there's something we've missed, if you need some encouragement, Julie's gone over some things that some of you probably already know, but some people don't. So thanks for your patience if you already knew that. And I don't know. I can't think of anything, Kim.
I can't either. I think we got it all covered.
Well, I'll stop recording, and then if anybody has questions, I'd love to hear.